Milton Keynes College Football Academy have produced players like Tom Bradbury, who plays for Bristol Rovers, and Elliot Simmons, who has featured in the Canadian Premier League. But before they became an established Spartan South Midlands Division 2 team, they had tried their hand at the Hellenic League for just one season. During the 2016-17 season, they entered the Hellenic League Division 2 East, the equivalent of Step 8, similarly to North Bucks, which is one step below where they currently play. They played their games out of MK Dons Sets ground, or now MK Dons Community Trust's ground, Tattenhoe Pavilion, an AstroTurf cage with a small hard standing along one side for spectators and a full set of floodlights, a fully licensed bar, and relatively spacious changing room facilities, making it more than adequate for Step 8 football, where all you need is a pitch, some rope, and some changing rooms. The rope is to mark out a standing area. During their time in the Hellenic League system, they didn't play a single midweek game, which seems like a real waste of floodlights, even adhering to the midweek kind of pushback of kickoff times from 3 p.m. to 2 p.m, even pushing it back to 1:30 in some situations. This is mainly because most teams in the division normally don't have floodlights, but in their season, 7 out of the 12 teams had floodlights. That's because they were reserve teams for Step 5 and 6 clubs, where it's a league requirement to have floodlights. Let's take a quick look at the names that were in the squad this season. Some of them went on to do quite well. We'll look at them as well. So the top appearance maker and goal scorer for the season was Tyrick Ward, who is currently at Real Bedford, but has spent time at MK Irish and Russian and Diamonds, possibly making him one of the biggest success stories as he's managed to get into the playoffs at Step 3. Second top goal scorer was Ryan Beckinsdale. He left the college in 2018 to attend Hartpury University. Then he went on to go out to America to be a soccer coach while studying a master's degree in business administration. Since he's returned to England, he has played for both Tiverton and Larkhall, making 33 appearances for Larkhall this season, again making him a relatively good success story. Fellow stalwart Ryan Kelsey moved on to MK Irish, where he went on to be an ever-present in their title-winning season and was their main fullback, really, in their playoff season the year before. After leaving the football programme, Alfie Powell joined Kempston Rovers, and after 2 seasons he joined fellow Step 4 side Leighton Town, where he spent 2 seasons. He went on to play a handful of games at Barton Rovers, but settled at former FA Vars winners Newport Pagnell for the second half of the 24-25 season, scoring 5 goals in 16 games, making him one of the standout performers in a just outside the playoffs team. He went on to be a standout player this season for playoff side Biggleswade Town, as he managed to guide them to a playoff semi-final. Another major success story is attacker Ben Aquay, who has already made the steady climb from Step 8 in the Hellenic League to Step 1 with Tamworth in 2023. He's going to make 60 appearances for the Step 1 side, scoring 10 goals from midfield. Unfortunately, he did not feature against Tottenham. Their first game of the season was at home to Stokenchurch, a historic Buckinghamshire village side who unfortunately folded in 2022. A crowd of just 12 watched the young side pick up a 4-2 victory at Tattenhoe Pavilion. Their first loss came just 3 games later at the hands of Step 5 at the time, Binfield FC, who I can only imagine brought the majority of a healthy 120 attendance, but the Step 5 side dismantled MKA comfortably without much of a fight back. But Hakeem Abdullah scored in the 20th minute, but the game was done, losing 3-1. Their biggest winner came just a weekend after, as Collie travelled to Chalfont Wasps reserves. An unprecedented first half saw the College go 4 goals up, a 2-minute double salvo from Ryan Kelsey and Say Olakayode, along with a strike just before half-time by Ryan Beckinsdale and an own goal, meant the game was over before the half-time whistle even went. 4 goals from Tyrick Ward and a late goal by Adefalobo Agambaide padded the goal difference, which was a real domineering result, setting them up for their eventual 4th place finish. But it's a shame, obviously, because they didn't follow up the next week, as they lost 7-1 away to Oxford City Development. Throughout mid-season, which was kind of October through to November, they struggled for consistent form, which is maybe testament to maturity in the squad. Obviously, being under 21's team, most teams being between 16 and 19, it's always going to be tough to kind of maintain consistent form, especially against men's teams. The only cup they got to any significant round in was the Bluefin Sport Hellenic Supplementary Cup. They reached the 3rd round, where they were drawn to play Bicester Town away. at Ardley playing fields. It was a ground share with Ardley. A crowd of 56 watched the college get taken apart as they lost 5-0 to Bicester. On the way to the third round, they got to play current Step 4, relegated Rayners Lane at Tith Arm, who they beat 3-2 after extra time, with Ty Ward scoring the winner. They also played in the Chairman's Cup, beating Tame Reserves, before losing to Aberdeen in the next round. In a final game, they travelled away to Aston Clinton Park, which is a ground they now currently travel to play their first team in the Spartan South Mids 2. They played their development team though in a 12 o'clock kickoff. 8 people were there to witness the 2-2 draw, where the college leading 1-0 at the break. Frustratingly, a lot of the goal scorers for this season weren't put on, so I don't know who scored when and where. Makes it quite difficult, especially as you go further back through the Hellenic League and even Spartan 2. It's hard to find real consistent information. Something I do have to commend is that the current manager and all-round top guy Ian Ellis has been in charge since the Hellenic League days and managing the Spartan 2 now with the current squad, including ECFA competitions and campaigns, which is obviously fair play to him and his coaching staff. Managed teams of under-21s to not only win ECFA Cups but finish very competitively in some of the most competitive regional Step 7 leagues. I mean, this season they finished, I think, 3rd in Spartan Div 2. That's a fully fledged men's division. This one was mostly reserve teams, and it was almost like a reserve league. But even so, to come fourth in a men's division is very good. After MK College's short stint in the Hellenic League, they moved to the Midlands Football League Under-21 East Division, another highly competitive division, but a non-stepped league, so they moved out of the pyramid completely. They took part in the Midlands League until 2020-21, and then in the summer of 2021, they applied to move across to Spartan South Mids Division 2, where they currently are now, where they're producing some unreal talent, and a lot of them are going off to America this year. So good luck to them. But yeah, on that note, thank you very much for watching, and hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think of this, bringing this style back, and yeah, see you next one. Peace.